Hello.
Ben, how are
We're
you
doing
doing
this.
today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is going to be our first recording of the Full Tank podcast. We are going to be talking about some Overwatch League stuff and then divulging into whatever we feel like talking about.
Yeah, all things Overwatch, Overwatch League, and Dallas Fuel related.
Yeah, for sure.
Until it inevitably devolves into just
talking about whatever we're going to talk about.
Whatever
Connor,
we
by
want
the
to
way.
talk
I didn't
about
say my
here.
name. Yeah, that's important. But
yeah.
Getting right into it, we
Yeah.
had the very exciting first week of Overwatch League this weekend, and it was good. I was impressed with. They kept the consistency of the production really well.
Yeah, they kept pausing just like last year.
They had to pause a lot. I've
I've
noticed that. But you know what? It went off well, I think. And especially with first week, everyone's kind of getting in. You saw, crew settling in. You definitely saw the players settling in, especially the add-on teams.
Mm-hmm.
They were settling into that they were settling into that whole situation.
I was very happy from a viewer perspective, personally, because I know the inaugural season last year, it opened up peak of like 400K that opening weekend.
Yeah, what did it open up viewer-wise this week?
And like it peaked around 200K. Like in every match, it had about 150K about the entire week, which honestly I'm very surprised about. With everybody saying Overwatch is a dead game, but
yeah, I agree, and especially with all the hype around every other streaming game right now. Apex is going off the charts still. It's good to see that they still pulled some decent numbers, It's not like they were pulling league numbers or anything anymore, but it was good.
Yeah, Overwatch is not a dying game. Blizzard's a dying company. There's a difference.
That's a good point. And being a dying company, they haven't been able to invest much time to doing their balance changes, Blizzard.
Yeah. Because, hey, let's destroy goats by buffing Reaper. But no,
hey,
wait. Level play.
What's that word that you just said? I'm sorry. What's that word that you just said?
Oh, 3-3. Sorry.
Oh, okay, 3-3. Yeah, that's what I thought. So what were you saying about the 3-3 meta?
Why are they so insistent on calling it 3-3?
I think it's because they don't want to give legitimization to the GOATS term. I think because it's kind of a bad word right now. Wouldn't you think?
I've been thinking about this actually for a little bit, because GOATS, that was the name of the organization that invented it, right?
I thought it was Go only tanks and supports.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was actually named after the organization that rang it.
That makes sense. I think they filled in the blanks for it. Go only, or Go all tanks and supports. That's what GOATS is now known for. But
they actually were an Overwatch team. GOATS was an Overwatch team. They have a very cute logo that I'm going to copy and put into the Skype.
Oh, nice. But yeah, that makes sense. I think it's kind of a bad word. Or are you saying that it's they can't say GOATS because it is? Oh yeah, I recognize that.
Yeah.
The Archon YouTube channel uses that, doesn't it, or something like that?
I have no idea. It's from Fractal Esports.
I've seen that in some thumbnails before.
My thought is that they don't want to call it GOATS because it's based on an organization, and that's a whole different legal mess with all that stuff.
Right. So they can say dive all they want because
they can
is dive.
Yeah. From a technical standpoint, 3-3 is easier to explain to new audience members about what's actually going on, and it's more specific because we saw a lot of switch up from standard GOATs.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's GOATs.
It's GOATs.
Just call it
We saw GOATs all weekend.
It's one syllable.
If I end up, I should be going to the game on March 26th. I think
so
it's a Dallas Fuel versus, I can't remember who we were facing, but I'm hoping to go this year, and I kind of want to make it a goal to start a chant of GOATs.
It's called GOATs.
It's called GOATs. Yep. and just get part of the stream muted for a little bit.
Wait, what day are you going?
It looks like I'm gonna try and go March 16th. That day is going to be nice. Washington versus Paris, which is gonna be a good matchup.
And
London
Dallas
versus
Uprising.
Dallas versus Uprising, which I think I know how that will go. And then Atlanta, I get to see DeFran. That will be fun. But yeah. Anyway,
we can come up. We can
Overwatch
come up
League.
with the sign you're gonna bring here.
Ooh.
That'll be for a later show.
Yeah, for sure. When we get to that week, we'll talk about it. So yeah, first week we had the big rematch, of course, at the beginning of the week, which was really exciting. I'm glad with how the World Championship rematch turned out. I think you are too, right?
Oh yeah, I really like the Philly Fusion team. They have a really solid core. Their tank play is one of the best in the league, which is honestly what matters at this point.
Right. Their tank play was looking good. Carpe was doing good. They didn't put out Fraggy at all.
That's what surprised me, because he's like one of the best, Winston's best. Ryan's in the league.
He was completely gone. But yeah, I'm glad that Fusion won. That was really exciting to see, and it was a good. It couldn't have gone any other way for the start of Overwatch League Season 2.
Yeah.
I wanted it to, start off with a bang, and the rivals meeting back up, and they talked about the revenge thing, and of course the players there were saying, there's no bad blood, but you know what? They just said that for the cameras. They showed up. They showed up this week, and they proved that they're here for Season 2 finals again.
Like, if they're able to be as good as they currently are with Fraggy on the bench, I don't see them leaving.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to be a top. They're going to be a top 3 team for the rest of the season.
Easily.
And I say that knowing full well what happened to Dynasty last year, and what I was saying about them at the beginning of the year.
Okay, Dynasty looks better this year, at least, in my opinion. They looked
good. They looked all right.
The issue was that it was no longer Widow comp, no longer dive comp.
They couldn't show off their incredible hit scan anymore.
Well, it wasn't even Widow comp, because Widow comp was what it was by the end of the season.
Right. I missed the towards the end of last year, we had a few games that were going Widow Hanzo for a while, right?
Would you rather have Widow Hanzo back or Goats?
Widow Hanzo every day, because I've been playing a lot more Widow recently. I've been playing a lot of Widow and Sombra recently, because Sombra, I think, is the only kind of consistent add-in to the kind of established goats right now, where you can kind of, I would argue between Sombra and Mei being two kind of things that you can insert into the goats comp, and you can take out one of those heroes, and you'll still be able to sometimes beat the goats mirror, Yeah,
it's Sombra a lot more now. Like, honestly, Sombra is arguably the best hero in the game right now. Well, at least countering goats.
I would say so. Yeah, I think in the competitive scene, yeah.
I wouldn't say best hero. I'd still say Zenyatta's definitely the best hero in the game.
And I was going to bring that up again soon.
But Sombra is easily one of the best heroes in the game right now, because
she kills the Zenny.
Utility. Yeah, like
she kills the Zenny. That's what makes her good.
Solo EMP Zenyatta is such a viable play. It is ridiculous.
We saw nearly every Sombra start an EMP fight.
Yeah.
Just clicking the Zenyatta's head as soon as she clicked Q.
So good.
Because that's all you need to do. I mean, you unstealth, you click the Q, and then you instantly kill the Zenny.
I really like the changes with Sombra, at least, because they made her better, and that they completely changed her playstyle. Because I remember the 2017 World Championships, Sombra was still seeing a lot of play, but it was always defense, 2 CP, exclusively man the health packs, because dive can't last that long.
Right, and it was still you had to dance around health kits to build up the early AMP to win the first fight. And especially when you were defending, or actually in overtime, say you were on 2 CP, the accepted strategy to do the overtime rounds on 2 CP was to just get the Sombra MP first. Yeah. And that was how you won.
Yeah, it's ironic that when Sombra was called to offense, she was only played defensively. Now that they don't have labels, she's a great assassin character.
Yeah, I feel like every game we saw at least one Sombra.
That's probably right.
I remember, I obviously am biased, but I remember seeing some really good stuff out of AKM. AKM is back. We're going to talk about that more later, but RCK was actually playing some Sombra, and I kept screaming at my television, why aren't you throwing AKM on Sombra? Maybe because, I mean, AKM was doing really... I don't want to talk too much about AKM right now because I want to set aside a bit for him later, but...
That's okay. I'll shit on RCK later.
I was so confused as to why they kept putting RCK onto Sombra when they could have...
I miss Mickey, but we'll get to that later. A lot of good first day matchup.
So what was your most exciting match for this first week?
Most exciting match.
Or sorry, let me rephrase that. What was the one you were looking forward to most this week?
I was looking forward to Dallas's starting game, but after watching it,
I went to bed after the first round because I was angry.
Jeez. And you're on the West Coast. That was actually a decent hour for you too.
Yeah, it was actually like 10:30 maybe, I think. I was most excited for the China show match. I was really excited for that one. And
in sports history versus the Bubblegum Brigade.
I could not have missed that one, World. And I was really excited for the Paris match too.
I was extremely excited for the Paris match.
And the Paris match did not disappoint.
Did not disappoint whatsoever.
Soon was looking great.
London was showing weaknesses that we're going to talk about.
Ooh.
We can say
let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about, because we've already covered both their matches. We've talked about Paris and we've brought up the inaugural. So Spitfire, what do we think? I think there's blood in the water.
They started 0-2.
Yeah.
Granted, these are all extremely early predictions, but like extremely early, very small sample size. Well, with the smaller season now, that's really what the case is going to be. I think they're just going to be a middle-of-the-road team this year, maybe even on the lower end until DPS come back. Because at this stage, Reinhardt is the most important character, as long as Goats is the best.
Asterisks next to that, except for Zenyatta at the bottom in the fine print.
Well, Zenyatta's the best. I'd say Ryan is definitely the most important. Like, what I enjoyed about opening weekend is seeing all sorts of different comps. I thought there'd be a lot more Goats than there was. There was a lot of Goats, but I at least got to see some more interesting stats, like more interesting compositions coming instead of just Goat. One
of the most entertaining composition matches was the Hangzhou versus Shanghai match. They came out the gate each time with a weird comp, and I loved it. That was one of my most exciting games this week.
Here, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that match after this.
Spitfire. But yeah,
Spitfire. Brian's the most important character because every single match, every single game, it just will end up devolving. It'll reach an equilibrium of Goats versus Goats. That's what's going to happen, basically, until the meta actually changes. Until they cut all tanks in half health-wise to actually make Goats beat or nerf every support into oblivion.
Delete Brigida.
And the fact of the matter is, Gesture is not known as a Rhine player.
No, not at all.
That's where their issue is. That's why they were getting stomped in both games. Like, Paris is really good at playing Goats. Like, Soon looked amazing being able to switch onto Zarya, all sorts of things. Gesture is not that good of a Rhine player. He's more comfortable on Winston on different other characters, not as Rhine. Hence why they're 0-2 in week 1.
Right.
It's still early, but Ryan's the focal point of this meta. I did like seeing them switch up all their different comps, though. I like them noticing what was going on with Paris and not being afraid to just go back into the spawn room after they want to fight and switch things up.
They did that a lot. I think that shows that they're going to be... I think that they're going to be higher of the middle end. I think they won't be necessarily top tier like they were again last year, but they're going to be higher. But they have that game sense and they know what they need to do. It's just actually executing it.
I love the quote I saw on Twitter somewhere that they said this was the match for Europe, but technically not because London's not in the EU anymore.
I do remember seeing that one. That one was good.
We got political very fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's look at the Paris side of this. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to pull up. So who did I want to talk about? Obviously, I wanted to talk about Soon. Did we see any shadow burn?
No, we saw Nico.
That's right. And Nico I was impressed with Nico, actually.
Well, was Nico the designated Brigida player?
Yes. That sounds right.
Imagine like working on trading your DPS style, like being able to master your aim, all of your flicks, and they're like, you're going to swing a flail in front of you playing.
You're going to press W?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Nico is their Brigitte player. 99% playtime, 42 minutes. 57 seconds. I don't think Shadowburn's going to see play until Brigitte is actually gone.
Let me look up Soon right now. I want to see just how he did in this matchup. He had, wait, did it just say an average of 19 kills per 10 minutes?
Oh my goodness.
He was 18th in the league for damage, which is pretty damn good. He had 7.14 final blows every 10 minutes. 19.59 eliminations every 10 minutes, and only 4 deaths per 10 minutes. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm looking up eliminations per 10 minutes. The highest is Seomin Su of Vancouver, but I think that's a bit skewed because they were playing Shanghai. But
right, yeah, that information has to be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah. So Soon played almost exclusively Zarya.
Yeah.
He started off on McCree. I know on the very first map, I think he just started on McCree, got a couple headshots, and played for about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then switched back to Zarya because goats.
And he looked really good on Zarya. I mean, obviously, the Zarya play right now is super critical. I mean, you saw fights get instantly won or lost if the diva was able to eat grabs, you know?
Oh, and they were eating grabs.
A lot of eating grabs. I love seeing a bunch of eating grabs.
I think it was Paris that was eating. Who was there? I think Fincy. I really like Paris's tank play.
Yeah.
They were so good. Like, these were players that weren't in the league last year. Ben Best looked great on Ryan. Fincy looked great on Diva. They looked so dominant, which is why I think Paris is going to be one of the top teams right now.
Fincy was at 20 eliminations every 10 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, he is a good diva player. I need to look into him more. I have slept on him.
That's what I was very happy about seeing from Paris. Like, naturally, if you're looking at Paris, you think Soon, Danye, Shadowbird, they're going to be the top people on their team. But I loved all of their other pieces together.
Oh, for sure.
Their supports looked amazing. Cruz and Hip, they're doing such good work.
Yeah.
Cruz is a great Lucio. Ben Best, dominant Reinhardt. He made Gesture look so bad.
Yeah, he really stomped all over him.
My one complaint, though, that probably is because Paris is more of a newer team about them. I was saying they kept using ultimates a lot of the time without actually getting any payoff. Like, they were very too trigger happy and not committing fully to what they were doing.
Right.
Like, multiple times I'd see Soon pop his ult. I'd see like an amp drop, just something like that. And then they're not following up. And then they take a fight that wasn't even there in the first place for like a minute of time.
Yeah, I remember like seeing a beat that was dropped like at the very beginning of a fight, like before they were even on point. Yeah. Was it maybe Busan? The map with the giant drum in the middle zone. They basically dropped beat at the beginning choke point before they were even in the courtyard. I was like, wait, no, you're supposed to drop that mid-fight. What are you doing?
Well, I'm not too upset about that. Like, I wouldn't have done that personally, but granted, I'm not a professional player, so what do I know?
What do I know?
But it's very similar to how you can pop Briggs ult, like just preemptively doing it before you're actually engaged so that it's up. It's not as good on Lucio because, you know, his shield's diminished.
The decay is huge, yeah.
But
what game was what game was going on? It might have been the Dallas Fuel versus was it Dallas the second game? Who did we face yesterday or on Sunday? Seoul. That's right. I remember we were getting stomped by Sombra for a while. Yeah. And I just kept on yelling at my TV, basically, like, why were they not fighting off the Sombra? I think they had 3 5+ EMPs in one push.
So good.
It was insane. But then we still managed to come back. I was shocked that we managed to come back. But
now, listeners, you're going to hear us being a lot more critical and a lot more in-depth on Dallas because we're fans. And when I say listeners, I mean all 1 or 2 of you, one of which is my girlfriend. I don't even know if she would have made it this far yet. But
we're going to yell at the Dallas Fuel a lot.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be so critical.
I have to yell at them. I mean...
But hopefully our yelling will get us sponsored by them.
Right, true. I was very impressed with them in their game on Sunday. I was very happy with how they played.
Well, we had such low expectations after Friday.
Oh my god, yeah. I went into it being the kind of usual dread that I would go into the beginning games last year. You know, like, oh, this is not going to be fun.
At least game 1 last year we started with some life.
Yeah, we were still like, yeah, let's do this by the end of the first week. And then like second week rolled around and we were like, oh no. Did we lose all 4 games first 2 weeks?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Ooh, that blew.
I don't know, I kind of have that blacked out.
Yeah, I tried to erase that out of my memory.
Yeah, watching their YouTube channels, like what was it, On the Watch or whatever they called it.
That was sad.
That was just like watching Grey's Anatomy, man.
It It was brutal. I mean, next week I think will be a good good week for us, honestly. Well, besides the Philly game, but I think we can take on Charge next week.
Yeah,
hopefully, pretty well.
Yeah. So let's talk about Shanghai.
Yes.
Hangzhou Sparks.
Oh, I want to say one of my favorite games this week, but I don't know. It was a lot of fun to watch. I like that one.
It was fun to watch because, so you know how like youth sports are fun to watch because of how bad they all are?
Right.
That's what I thought about this game.
Like a 5-year-old, 35-year-olds failing to make a bucket. You know,
like you're like a third grader's choir concert, like that sort of thing.
Right. No, I honestly thought that Shock this week looked pretty good. What was the other game? They beat Valiant as well. I thought they looked pretty good. Valiant looked terrible.
The Spark. It's very confusing because now there's 3 teams that are based on Lightning. You know, the Spark, the Shock, and the Charge.
It's getting a lot.
I still haven't watched the Valiant Spark game. I'm gonna try and watch all the games this week.
They got stopped.
At least them against Shanghai. Hangzhou looked pretty sloppy to me. But they were able to get away with a lot because they were playing against Shanghai.
Right. They did look better against Valiant when you watched that one, but Valiant was playing awfully. So you could take that. I'm hopeful for Hangzhou, but we still don't have their first actual trial and fire. I want to see them against... Who would I like to see them fight soon?
I want to see them take on New York, I think, because that would be an actual good test. I think New York is a pretty consistent bar to just kind of like beat, you know?
Well, how about next week when they're playing London on Sunday?
Oh, really?
Yes, the 24th. That'll be a good game.
That will be a good game. I think they can win it.
Good. And that'll actually be a solid matchup for them to see if they're.
I would be genuinely happy to see London go down 4-0 next week because that would mean that Washington would get their first win, which I do want to see Washington do well this year, and Spark will also take them down, which that'd be nice.
Yeah, Spark are also playing the Outlaws next week,
so they might.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch next year. I like them
this year
solely because of their uniforms.
This year? You said next year. They're going to be... We'll see about next year. We'll see if there is a next year.
Yeah, we'll see if there is. Because Blizzard's a dying company. Yeah.
Rip Blizzard. Love them, but I hate them. I love their games, but I hate their company now. Which really sucks, because I honestly did like their company for the longest time.
Because, hey, I know we just gave our CEO a huge raise, but let's lay off 800 employees or whatever the number was.
I know that we have a lot of balance issues in a lot of our other games, and that we have programmers that we have left over from the, what was it, the Division?
Sure.
I think. I don't know. But yeah, fuck them all. We'll just send them away.
You want to know what the solution is that we need to do? The solution?
What?
Buy more loot boxes.
Buy more loot boxes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They go directly into the pockets of the CEOs so that you can get your virtual cosmetics.
There is a silver lining. There is a silver lining to this huge layoff and this whole Activision Blizzard fiasco.
Huh.
You want to know what that silver lining is?
What?
They may have fired the guy who said, "How about Diablo Mobile?"
They might have. And
that's a happy thought.
Justice served, you know? I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the next few patches. Because, I mean, we're back. Paris just dropped today, the time of recording this. I need to get on tonight and play. I haven't today. I was watching Game of Thrones when I got home. But I want to play some Paris. Mm-hmm. But we're at that time now where we don't have a new hero coming out for a while. We're not going to have a new map coming out.
Not true. We're getting a new hero next month.
Next month?
It's March. Every March.
I'm nervous to see what they're going to release.
We can talk about a new hero some other week.
Okay.
When there's actually news to talk about.
When there's news to talk about.
Yeah.
Soon.
We'll talk about Paris.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see what the next couple patch changes are. Because they're obviously going to be, if that's the case, they're obviously going to be setting up for the new hero.
Let's hope it's a tank because, oh boy, Shanghai Dragons need a tank right now.
Right, they sure do.
Have you followed the Shanghai situation right now?
I really haven't.
Well, just in general, because Shanghai's whole situation has been very interesting in their time.
Well, of course.
Yeah, because there's the whole Chinese government. There was some corruption going on with their organization, which is why they didn't have any good players, despite having one of the largest player pools in the entire world with 1 billion people.
I did not know this.
It's awkward because China always had a great World Cup team, but they always were bad last year.
Yeah.
So their issue, they have a main tank player, Gemsu.
Trying to pull up their roster right now.
Yeah. Gamsu is their main tank player.
Yeah.
He unfortunately was unable to actually be here this week.
Right.
Or even next week. I have no idea when he's coming back. He wasn't here this week. And it really hurt.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, Guguri, best player on the team.
She's really good. She was watching them versus Spark. I kept on coming back to that. She was the one person keeping any kind, because they did look, I mean, they went to game 5 against Spark. It wasn't like they, oh wait, are you sure?
They 3-1.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. But still.
One of the best off tanks.
Yeah,
but that's the key.
For sure. She was playing really well on Hammond, I remember.
So I think the issue with that is she was the only designated tank player in the roster.
Right.
So I thought they looked good, at least okay when she was playing Hammond, but
right.
You'd want to see that slot in with an actual main tank playing it because Hammond's your main tank.
Yeah, if Hammond's your main tank, you're having some problems.
No, Hammond's a great main tank, especially when you're doing your 2 support 3 DPS.
Yeah.
You launch him up and you pick him off.
Yeah.
Great with Sombra. Great with
Sombra. I love playing Sombra and Hammond.
Oh,
just the hat.
Free kills, free ult charge. Are you kidding me?
But back to Gamsu.
They
didn't have Gamsu, who is their main tank player. So what I guess they had to do is try out all of their DPS and say who can play main tank the best. And that falled under Youngjin. And let me tell you, Youngjin is not a main tank player.
No.
It is very obvious. He died first every single fight as Ryan because he is way too aggressive.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And that's what separates everyone. I mean, good tanks know when to be aggressive.
Yeah, it's
that comes with just hours and hours of being yelled at by your team to back up.
Oh, Overwatch.
Overwatch.
It's very, at this point, you need to have the better Reinhardt. They did not have Reinhardt, and sure enough, they resorted back to being the worst team in professional sports history. And London went from being the inaugural season winners to 0-2 at the start. Granted, it's the start, but Gesture is not that good of a Reinhardt player. And it shows that they're 0-2, especially against a newer team.
Right, right. Trying to pull up DM's spot.
Oh, DM was great.
Stats right now. I was impressed with him. He looked pretty good. I like the little story. Did you hear the little story about him?
Story about him and Carpe being friends.
I love that. I love that.
Carpe DM. Oh, it's so cute.
That was adorable.
That's adorable. I really wish he was on a better team.
Right. I would love to see more from him, but we're probably just gonna see him, go. Oh, and wait, how many matches do we have this season now? Isn't it down to
28.
28. My guess was 26. 28. A lot less games this season. Well, I mean, we're gonna have a lot of games still, but per team.
I think it's good because the season kind of slogged on past stage 2 last year.
It did. We get some more variation. Each game is going to matter way more now, so they actually have to play game 4. Mm-hmm. They actually, obviously have to try game 5, but those, 3-0 game 4s are going to matter way more now.
Oh, definitely. Map differential is going to be so important at this point.
Map differential is going to be huge.
And it's just going to be more watchable if there's a bad meta like GOATs. Hopefully you're going to see less of it. Blizzard gets on and actually decides to balance things. Do you remember last year? Remember what meta was what opened up Overwatch League?
Was it Dive?
No, it was the reworked Mercy meta.
It was the reworked Mercy meta when she could double res, right?
But they're like, Mercy's too good right now. So what we should do, make her the best hero in the game.
Make her the best hero in the game, and then we won't nerf her on the Overwatch League patch for a while.
I really hope they're up to date on their patches this season.
They aren't, because the armor change isn't in right now.
Well, granted, that would only happen today. That's
right. That's true.
Today.
So, it was on PTR. It was on PTR for a bit.
Oh, was it the actual stack? Because if they're not actually playing with the whole armor absorbs less now, that's actually big.
I thought it was the more armor absorbs less now. I don't think they have the armor absorbs less now patch in. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong.
That is something to look up that I will forget about after we're recording.
I will too. But I know for sure that they don't have the new armor changes where the stacking changes, which, I mean, it's a small thing, but at that high of a level, it matters more, of course. It's going to matter for the rallies from now on, you know. But it's still going to be the same for right now, I think.
I personally am enjoying this patch. I think it's okay.
I've had some fun,
but I'm actually very pleased in how much there actually was to watch. Like, how many different comps we got to see.
Right. I really liked whenever I saw an Ashe come out the gate, I always got excited. Whenever I saw a Widow come out, I was excited. There was even some Junkrat play that was pretty exciting.
Yeah,
we hardly ever see Junkrat.
That being said, a lot of the time, whoever had the Junkrat just got completely collapsed on because Junkrat is not meta. But
right, and remember last year we saw Junkrat all the time because we had what was it? Was it Dive that kind of made Junkrat pretty decent? Like, I mean, the D.Va would come in and get instantly trapped. That was before she could. Or no,
I'm wrong. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
Okay.
But anyway,
I'm pulling up my favorite clip from this weekend so we can talk about that.
Ooh, okay.
I'm on
Do I
Twitch
know what
right
it is?
I think I told you about it when we first were talking about it this weekend.
Right. I have a few that were, I mean, I am biased, so my favorite play of week 1 is going to be AKM with his triple kill.
Oh, yeah, you actually got to see Widow. I'm not going to pull this up right now because I don't want to have to learn how to pull clips from Twitch while we're recording our inaugural podcast.
Right.
But
yeah, my play of the game, or my play of this inaugural week, because I'm very biased and I was really excited when it was happening, was the AKM play. I mean, it wasn't even like that insanely good, but it was so hyped up, and it really was a big turning point because we were losing that. We were not doing as well on that defense. I think we had to, or no, we defended pretty well.
Yeah, that secured us map 2. That was, I watched the game yesterday. That was after we draw 3-3, map 2, King's Row. We held during the overtime, the lightning round or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Determine who's the winner after the draw.
We held them to before making it to point B, right?
Yeah, we held them on King's Row 70% from taking the point, from capturing the payload. 70%. And so then it was Dallas's turn to get the offense going. We started a bit slow because I think we both got it in overtime, so we only had a minute.
Yeah.
Dallas, but AKM, switch on to Widow, get his little 3K.
He hit the Mercy first, and that was the go button.
Oh,
then he grappled over and then instantly took out the Junkrat because Junkrat's not meta.
That was he barely had a head poking out. I'm so impressed by good Widowmakers.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. I can't understand that. I don't even want to bring this up because I'm going to embarrass myself, but I have one Widow headshot on console, which, that I was really proud of. I was defending on Blizzard World and hit a headshot on a Zarya through my Orisa. And that was the highlight from that game, was me hitting this headshot that I couldn't see. I was really proud of that one, but anyway, AKM would kick the shit out of me. And then my other favorite play, again, biased, Dallas Fuel, was the RCK D.Va bomb when the casters were literally speechless. They were like, "Oh, that was a bad trance coming out from Fuel. That fight's over." And then 3K from RCK, and that was the one thing that he did.
We'll talk about Dallas as a whole next, because I got some words about RCK.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk. My favorite play was day 1. The very last day was Seoul versus Los Angeles Gladiators. It was map 3. I think the Gladiators were on defense near the end. I don't know if they won or not, but I think that's when I turned in to watch because I was driving all that day. And Roar was on Winston. And Seoul was on the outside, on the surface of the moon in the low grab area, all bunched up trying to communicate the team. And if you don't know, there's a lot of environmentals there. So Roar poked his head out, saw them all grouped up, about to come in. Primal range, knocked them all off, 4K. Beautiful.
Beautiful. The way that they all shot out from the airlock was one of the most beautiful things I've seen in Overwatch.
Just seeing them slowly accept their fate as they were crawling down the side of the mountain.
We're like, yeah, this sucks.
I blame Seoul entirely for that because they should at least recognize They have a Winston. We're all in the area where we go flying if we get hit.
There's nothing that stops the momentum out there.
Absolutely. Favorite
the one place in the game that completely negates momentum.
It was so funny.
That one was really good. Yeah, that's a top moment of the opening week. All right, Dallas Fuel. Go ahead. I know you want to yell. Go ahead and yell.
I don't think RCK is good whatsoever.
Okay.
I don't think RCK is good.
What did you not like from him?
So let's talk about the first day. Let's talk about the first game where they got
really
steamrolled by the San Francisco Shock, who honestly look like a top team this year.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, so they went 1-1 this week. They lost to the Gladiators 3-2 in a solid matchup, but they looked really good out of the gate. I don't think RCK was that good. He was okay at best in that game against the Shock. There was a couple nitpicks I had about him, but they were relatively minor. It was really when we got to the Seoul game that I thought he wasn't that good. Whenever I was looking at a fight, RCK was never really grouped up protecting anybody. Mm-hmm. He was always sitting by himself in the middle of nowhere, not protecting any supports. There'd be, like, the entire team would be grouped up, like, underneath a pillar, underneath a walkway on point 2 Volskaya, defending, and RCK would be off in the middle of nowhere. I'd see somebody get picked off, and I'm like, where's RCK during that? Or like, it'd be OG on Winston and RCK on D.Va. And I would see Winston just getting mowed down. I'm like, where was RCK to protect him? Because you're D.Va and Winston, you're supposed to go in together.
It's not the glory days of D.Va when she had 400 armor that you can just be unstoppable, you know. It's the days of 4-second cooldown Matrix D.Va, you know. Mm-hmm. You can't play away from your team at all.
Yeah, there was one instance in particular that really grinded my gears. It was on the first point of the full sky. I can't remember if they were on offense or defense or not, but the Souls Winston jumped over onto the upper platform on the upper right if you're attacking at the point. And so RCK just like, oh, I got him. And he left his team, who was underneath that building. He pulled out from there, trying to kill him, got demeched solely because of Winston, because he was already at half health, left his team by themselves, and he was little baby D.Va doing nothing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because you're useless.
He's always playing by himself.
Right.
But what grinds my gears is that you said you loved that 3K. He was off by himself, not helping his team. If you're D.Va, you're getting grabbed, you're getting trans, you need to be there with your defense matrix so that your team doesn't die. But no, he was off by himself, but it's okay because he shot his D.Va bomb and got a 3K. Like, that's not an excuse that he was not doing what he needed to do.
You're saying that if he was there the whole time, he wouldn't have needed to get the 3K with the D.Va bomb, the miracle D.Va bomb
in the middle of nowhere, which is something I don't like about Ghost. That as soon as somebody throws a grab, 12 ults immediately come out. But
everyone hears I'm going for the Tolvestein, and then Qs are pressed at an astronomical rate. That's just how it goes.
I also don't think he's that good of a Sombra, but
I don't think so either. I think that it just boiled down to he was a worse tank player than AKM.
Oh, AKM.
So they couldn't switch AKM to Sombra, you know?
I think Mickey is a way better D.Va player. I think Mickey's a better play as a whole. But the fact of the matter is RCK is going to see play over him because he can technically flex into DPS.
Right.
Mickey is D.Va. He can play a lot of brick. He's one of the best bricks in the league, but he's not going to see play because flexibility is what matter, and you need everybody to be able to flex into any position now.
I of course would love to see more Mickey this year.
Which is why I don't think Taimu's ever going to see play until DPSs are actually making a comeback.
Because what does he do right now? His tank is Roadhog.
Yeah.
So nothing.
Yeah.
You know, he's a really good Roadhog. If we get a Roadhog meta back, then sure.
Man, I started playing a month or two before Roadhog became the worst hero in the game.
Yeah.
That was a dark time. I started playing D.Va the week before that news came out, so that wasn't that bad. But
so you had somebody to back off on too.
But back to RCK, doesn't play with his team, thinks a 3-bomb D.Va kill makes up for not protecting his team as a tank.
Right.
What I have to do, I was interested. So like after a couple of the games I saw him in, I looked up his announcement video for the Dallas Fuel on their channel, and all but one of his clips was from solo queue or like competitive.
Really?
He only had one clip that was organized team play.
Oof.
And the one that was was like a diva, like a 3K, 4K diva bomb.
Yeah.
So what that leads me to believe is he doesn't play as a team. He plays like he's in solo queue right now.
And this is the most comms heavy meta,
Yeah.
I think, in a while.
Just like Goats relies on everybody being on the same page, especially more than like anything.
You can see how coordinated they are. Their comms are off the charts. Probably.
Yeah. Like, they can take a little bit of a beating, but if they have a better team, they're going to lose as long as RCK is in there because he is not playing as a team. And I hope that can be fixed.
Me too. But anyway.
Now we're going to move on and talk about some of the other new players on Dallas. Closer, he's a world champion. He's fine. What you want out of your supports, I guess, if they're not hard carrying, is to just be doing their role and not being unnoticeable, and unnoticeable as in make sure they're not bad, not being aggressively bad. Closer was filling the role fine. He knows what he's doing, obviously, because he's done this at a world championship level. So I have no issues with him.
No, I don't either. And he was playing some, I mean, really, they don't focus too much on the supports in these games. You never really get to see too many big support plays, which is kind of sucks, of course, because, you know, we used to have the big Mercy, you know, Valks and stuff like that.
Mercy again.
But, I mean, he's a good Lucio.
Yeah.
I would like to see some massive boops out of him, but, you know, he's going to do what he's got to do. As
I mean, with the new Paris map. With the new Paris map, we're going to see a lot of big Lucio boops, especially on that first point.
What? Oh, yeah, because there's no back to Paris, the first point, right?
I'd say that's the most awkward assault map I've ever seen, because you have that big boop area. But I guess Hanamura is like that. But Hanamura also is more enclosed on the point. Yeah. And you actually have a buffer before you get to the end. It's not that big, but at least you have it.
And the push to point B on Paris is, have you seen from attackers point B?
It feels so big.
Yeah.
And there's like 5 different ways you can attack.
Luckily, there's some big open Widow sight lines, which I'm hoping we could see. I don't know when they cycle in new maps into league stuff.
They've been doing it relatively quickly. We should see it, at least for stage 2.
I would hope so. Yeah. But who else is new? We got Zachary.
Zachary
was. Go ahead.
Zachary pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah, I was fine with what he was doing. Obviously, coming out with the mighty blessing of the T-pose that brought home the win. But no, he was looking good.
Yeah, obviously in the offseason, that was probably the most questionable signing. Like, why do we need a 4th DPS?
Right.
But the answer is because they play Brigitte.
And he did what you need to do as Brigitte.
Yeah, he could play Brigitte. He could take over as Brigitte. He was also one of those players that was waiting for the age limit to actually get into the Overwatch League. Kind of like how Flower was.
Is Flower that young?
Yeah, Flower was like 16, 17 when he was dominating World Championship 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta look him up now. I gotta see
what
he's at.
Is he on Excelsior now?
I think so.
Yeah. He was on Excelsior's roster last year, but was unable to play because he was not 18 yet.
Right. Wow, that sucks.
Ridiculous. He should have been MVP that year instead of XQC, but whatever.
Oh, gosh.
If you have a Winston player who was like a popular Twitch streamer versus actually the best player in Overwatch World Cup by far. But it's XQC.
So yeah, I like the new signings. Is that it for signings for us? Did we only get Closure, XQC, and RCK?
Yeah, I think those are the big ones. Because, I mean, our departures were Chips and Coco. Or what was... Yeah, Coco.
Well, Coco went to coaching, which is... I mean, we've got our good coaching staff now.
That's it, really, from those. I really liked Zachary, because coming in, we didn't need the 4th DPS, but no, he was proven he was a very competent Brigitte. Like you said, T-posing over everybody. And what I really like about Zachary, which is something I didn't like about RCK, is that Zachary still has a ton of team experience.
Right.
He was on Fusion University's contenders team.
Oh, was he?
Yes. And that was a very good contenders team as well, if I recall correctly.
Nice. So, who did we not see this week? We didn't see Taimu, we didn't see Harry Hook or Mickey. We saw everyone else, though. Probably aren't going to see Mickey for a bit. We probably aren't going to see Taimu for a little bit. And then Harry Hook might just get some, here and there play, I think.
I think Harry Hook will come in. He might come in at some point on payload maps.
Right.
Solely because if we want to run sailboat, because he is our typical Bastion on the sailboat.
So we'll see some Route 66 hopefully, and maybe my favorite Protect the President map, Junkertown.
Yeah.
I was getting there. I was trying to remember the name of it.
Yeah, because I think it was one of the first 2 maps last year in our game against Seoul, the opening game.
I remember that being one of the most exciting matches at the beginning until it all started crumbling for us.
Well, that was our only map win that game.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah. That's really brutal.
But that was last year, and this is this year. Right. Yeah, Zachary was great on Fusion University. Ton of actual team experience. A lot of great niche characters he can play. So I'm excited to see if that comes into play instead of him just playing Brigitte. And also, a great reason why he was also signed, which was interesting to look at. You want to know who coached him at Fusion? Who? Arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Arrow was his coach at Fusion University.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's why he's here. He liked him. That makes sense.
That's why he's in over Mickey, because he has nepotism. I don't know how old Arrow looks. He could either be 23 or he could be 40.
Right.
He might actually be his nephew. Who knows? That's going to be a rumor.
As far as everything else across the league, final thoughts on first week of league. What do you think? What's your?
Jaehong is still the best player in all of Overwatch.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been consistently one of the best players, if not the best. And just seeing him now, like in the matches, it just still solidifies it how there is no better Ana player on the planet. There is no better support player on the planet.
I am fair with saying. I think I'm fine with saying that.
Let's see his stats from particular that I loved. You remember it was the Busan map, the one with the big inflatable cow.
Yeah.
He was just minding his own business. Sombra trying to hack him from behind, instantly slap dart him.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was like, how do you do that? That is ridiculous.
He's got that like Nicolas Cage superpower where you can see 30 seconds into the future. It's all that's because there's so many clips of him doing stupid, ridiculous timing stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, there was like from last year, the big clip was him hitting a nade on the Tracer, I think.
Yeah.
That was just nowhere to be seen. He just throws a grenade and instantly hits her as she comes out of rewind.
And he gets his nade so good.
Yeah.
Especially on that Busan map. Holy crap.
Whenever you see a slept Genji in midair, it's usually a Rujan.
like I said, I'd argue Zenyatta's the best player, the best character in Overwatch.
But you know what?
Every team needs to run it, but they are confident in Jaehong. He's so good on Ana that
he's a great Zenny too.
Yeah. Even that, but like any single player you'd want on Ana, it's going to be Jaehong.
Yeah.
Easily.
As far as week 1, he was ranked 3rd healing. With, what is that big number? 10,477 per 10 minutes?
Whew. Pulling stuff, yeah.
While maintaining
178. And that's like, as an Ana, that's doing, she's the hardest character to try and heal somebody with.
He actually was at 65.7% Zenyatta time this first week.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that 65? He must have played a lot in that first game because he only played Ana against Dallas.
Yeah. And I remember seeing a lot of Ana against. Oh, yeah. He hit that really good Sombra one. I'm trying to think of any other ones that he hit. But yeah, he's insane.
And like, that's a character who you need to actively heal. A lot more aim required because the top 2 are currently Sleepy and Shaz.
Right.
Both Zenyatta players. And that's actually another point I wanted to look at. Sleepy looks really, really good.
Let's pull up his stats. I want to see what he's been doing.
He is the #1 healing per 10 minutes right now.
Is he? Really?
As Zenyatta.
Oh, man.
On the shock. He looked extremely dominant against that. He looked incredible.
He was good.
Low deaths, too. 2.91.
So you're in the camp of Shock being top 5 this year, or?
I think they are. I mean, they did lose, but it was a tough 3-2 against Fusion, who was arguably the best team this year.
I'm thinking grand scheme. Do you think they'll be top 5 this year?
We'll see. I think they can do it.
I'm gonna be safe with saying that Philly is gonna be top 5.
Oh, easily. I also really liked Super on that San Francisco Shock team. He also looked extremely solid. He's their Rhine player.
He was their Rhine?
Yeah, so of course.
I'm going to have to go back and watch some stuff from him now. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to watch more San Francisco Shock. I think top 5 for me. I'm going to put Philly in there. Yeah, that's easy. Philly. I want to put Paris Eternal in there, but I want to see them fight somebody good first.
Yeah, not
after
one
their first big match, I will place them hopefully in top 5.
Yes, Paris is playing Los Angeles Gladiators this week, which would be another really good map.
That'll be a good match. I like how Gladiators are looking so far. I want to like a LA team, and I don't want to like Valiant. You know?
Yeah.
So
I think Gladiators are a safe team.
Yeah, I think they're a safe bet.
Top 5, not sure, but we'll see.
Right. Do we think New York Excel is still just going to be
easy
top 5 bet?
That's such a deep team. Do you know they had 7 players last year at All-Star Weekend?
Really?
There's only a starting roster of 6.
I mean, well, did we see any Pine this week?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hold on.
That is an interesting question because he's our Widow player.
We did not.
No Pine.
Yeah, so really, I mean, one of their like biggest stars, and he's just not going to be used right now because he's Pine. I mean,
Pine
you
looks
don't
like
put Pine in unless you're going to be playing hit scan.
Yeah, I mean, Flower too, but I don't think Flower saw any play time.
No, he didn't either. Obviously, we saw Jonak, which I'm always happy to see out of New York.
Yeah.
Let's see. 98.1% of his time was in Zenyatta, which makes sense.
Well, like I don't get why you have 4 DPS on your roster when you always have Jonak in, but
right. He's just the 5th DPS.
Yeah.
Or he's just an extra DPS whenever you play him.
Right now, my top teams I have Philadelphia Fusion. Easily, They look great. Paris Eternal. I have Paris Eternal up there. I think they can actually be great.
I'm rooting for them.
Their tanks are surprisingly good. They got some great DPS, great support. You actually saw a lot of the camera on Overwatch League was on Cruz, who was their Lucio player, which I was actually pretty excited about.
Yeah, he was doing really well. He was only playing Lucio the entire time. I'm gonna be there right now, the team that I'm gonna be backup rooting for.
Yeah.
Behind Fuel.
I love their color scheme as well.
Yeah, me too.
New York Excelsior.
Yeah, easy bet.
They've only gotten better because Flower's on the team now.
Right. And actually, gonna see some play soon. Yeah. I'm excited to see whenever they're gonna bring out the DPS again, the hit scans again.
If they ever come back.
Then
I'll say San Francisco's shock. So I have a top 4 because I still haven't watched as much as I can, so I can't definitively say who's better than everybody. It's also been 1 week, but San Francisco's shock looks really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you are going to be fine with that list for a while, but I want to see my Spark do well. They're doing well right now. They're in the standings. They're second, but this is obviously just stage 1 or week 1.
They beat Shanghai. That's basically a bye.
Yeah, that's a bye. I mean, we'll see how they go.
Well, actually, right now in healing, their healer, Bebe, is actually currently ranked 4th in healing per 10 minutes.
Nice. Yeah, they're going to be exciting to watch this year. I
assume that. Yeah.
If we can get 2 expansion teams to be top 5 this year, that will be really exciting.
I mean, you'd like that in any sport because expansion is fun, but it's Overwatch. They already had a small starting team,
right?
And there's a lot of South Korean experts in the game.
There's a lot of South Korean experts in the game. I was playing a little bit before I got on today, and I was playing some more Sombra, which I've been trying to do a lot more of. And, oh, man, I really wish I could, just get into some scrims with some teams. Yeah. It's not a wish that, I cannot go do right now. I can go find some teams if I want to just scrim around right now.
If you really want. Even, there'll be a lot of contenders or just, league teams at colleges or whatnot. There'd be, Masters players playing with Platinums. But, I mean, in a team atmosphere, it's less focused on individual skill and more so on how you play as a team.
Yeah. I want to learn comms better because I want to. So I was going to bring this up for the comms. Do you know if you get that special pass through Twitch? Can you listen to comms?
Let's look at what they're advertising for the.
I know for sure that you can watch each individual characterers.
You can't actually do that on a. You can't do that on a replay.
Really, that is disappointing. I would have loved to. That would have been my main thing I would have used it for. That kind of blows. I want to know if it's worth getting something like that. Oh yeah, the all access pass. Let's see.
I mean, if we want to actually do something with this, then it might behoove us to actually get it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'd actually get out of it.
Right. But anyway, Overwatch League week 1 is really good. I'm excited for week 2 coming up. Matches that you're excited for this week?
Matches I'm excited for this week. Obviously, I want to look at a lot of the teams that I did last week.
Yeah.
I think it goes without saying 2 Dallas matches. Dallas against the Guangzhou Charge, going to be good. see Dallas. And then, honestly, match of the week for me is going to be Philadelphia versus Dallas. Because
I have money on that game. I've got $5 whole on that game.
All right, did you take the smart pick or the biased pick?
I took the biased pick. Of course I did. Well, because...
Great question. It's the same pick. Dallas all the way.
Ah!
We're not going to...
No, I took, so I made 2 bets with a buddy in my class. I took the Philly bet, or I took the Philly Fusion. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm completely wrong. We bet against the China game. I took the Bubblegum Brigade because I needed to, and he thought that the meme dream was going to end. And I am very glad that I was right because I got $5.
Nice.
And he's going to have a great time with that $5. On Saturday when Philly kicks our ass.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Any other ones you're excited for this week?
Of course, I'm excited. Washington, London. That's going to be a great game. To see if London's actually bad this year.
Yeah, I want to see Washington do well this week.
I want to see what they can do. Atlanta, Toronto, both teams that won last week. Atlanta looks really good. I'm excited to see them against that team. Houston, Hangzhou, London. Going to be another 2 games. I really want that team to be good solely for the meme factor.
Right.
Best uniforms. Easy.
Right. I've got 2 that I'm looking forward to that are not Dallas related. I'm really excited for Atlanta versus Toronto because I want to see how they do against each other.
Yes.
I want to see Toronto do a little better this week, and I want to see, obviously, more from DeFran. And then I am going to be very excited for the Spark London game. Yep. That one's going to be exciting because if Spark can take out London, then I'll put them in top 5. Well, if London loses
against the Dragons, though.
Yeah. Okay. If London loses against Washington on Thursday, then I'll still hold off.
Okay.
If Spark does win, but we'll see. But yeah,
Paris Gladiators for a game.
Paris Gladiators will be exciting. I'm going to take Paris in it, but that'll be exciting. And then
game to watch for Friday is Vancouver, San Francisco.
You think?
Because Vancouver 4-0'd, which is actually, I have no idea about anybody on the roster because Overwatch can be hard to follow when there's 20,000 different teams. But it looks like they took basically an entire Korean contenders team and put it on a roster, which honestly, if you're looking at last year, if you took a random Korean contenders team and put them against like an Overwatch League team, the Koreans would probably win.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah. I'm excited to see them against San Francisco Shock. I think those are going to be 2 solid teams at least. I'm really excited for that Guangzhou Charge game against Alex. I know that game will actually be competitive.
Yeah, and that one, that's tomorrow at 7. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. And I've got nothing to do tomorrow.
Ohio time.
Yeah, 10 o'clock for you. Oh, that blows. It is good for
it's so nice for you. So nice for you. Saturday, Sunday games at noon. That's got to be great.
Yeah. I got lucky being on the West Coast for this, but they did this specifically to be better for worldwide, you know?
Well, like last week when I was watching some of the Thursday, Friday games, and because, you know, they schedule these in for an hour and a half apiece, but they never last an hour and a half apiece.
No, God, no.
Like, the last game on Thursday started at, past midnight. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Well, on Sunday, let's see, 3 of the 4 games went to Game 5, so, yeah, it was kind of going to be long.
That was what I was surprised about, because I thought I was going to miss all of Sunday, because I was driving at least 3.5 hours back from Detroit to Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Back to Cleveland. And I got back, and I was still in time for the Dallas game, at least.
Nice. Yeah. Well, you got to see the good one.
I did get to see the good one. I mean, they were all good.
Thank God. All right. So, moving away from Blizzard. Oh, we're gonna stay on them?
Just one thing.
Okay.
Favorite players from the first week.
AKM. You know that answer for me. Come on.
My favorite player to watch. I loved watching him last year, but even more so this year.
Yeah.
Is a Hotba.
Oh, yeah? What do you like about him? I haven't seen too much from him, honestly.
So, he's one of the best D.Va players in the world.
Okay.
One of the best D.Va players in the world. But he's a flex player. He's not a tank player. Right. He's also a top-tier tracer.
Really?
Look at his time. He actually played 44% of his time as tracer. I saw 31 minutes last week.
Okay. Maybe I'm gonna go watch some stuff from him.
He was on the Fusion last year as one of their tanks.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I'm gonna go watch some stuff from him because I don't remember him from last year that much. But if you're saying that he was the most exciting to watch, that I'm going to go watch some Charge after this.
Like, because he embodies what's great about Overwatch is that you need to be able to play all these different roles. And this is a great tank player that also is a top caliber diva.
Yeah.
Like, I believe it was him and Poco who were in the entire time last year on the Fusion.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Okay.
They got Sado now for Fusion, but
how is Sado doing this week?
I mean, they're 2-0.
They're 2-0. Yeah, they're doing great. All right. Well, out of Blizzard, out of Overwatch, anything exciting this week?
Paris dropped.
Yep, Paris dropped. We're probably gonna get new character announcement soon.
Not for a couple weeks, I don't think. But
well, not for a couple weeks, but we haven't had lore drops in a while. Actually, yeah, we need some good story stuff soon.
Yeah, we had the fan fiction about a month ago saying Soldier was gay.
Yeah, which I mean, anyone that didn't see that coming is not a Soldier main. I knew for sure. I'm very excited for they just announced the Darkest Dungeon sequel, which is a game that I've never played, but I am insanely interested in, and I like it even though I've never played it. I've only watched that game, but I'm actually they put it on sale this week with the announcement. I might buy it right now. Because
there you go.
I need something new to play. I'm running out of Divinity Original Sin right now, and that's going to be a dark day for me.
Tom, don't worry about this. Once my tax return gets in, I'll probably buy it at least.
Good.
And we can start a playthrough together.
Good.
On PS4.
Trust me, it's going to be worth it. I've got it on PC, and I might actually play a little bit tonight.
Do you have it on PS4?
I do. I've got it on both. That's one of the few games that I own 2 copies of.
I'll let you know when I get it then.
Yeah, for sure. They announced some stuff for. Are you a Civ fan at all?
Nope, not at all.
Neither am I. I don't care about that. Anthem's coming out in a few days, and I am taking my firm stance against it.
There is something that you need to read once we're done recording here today.
What is it?
It is from one of my favorite little groups called The Onion.
Yeah, of course. While you're pulling that up, are you going to be playing Anthem at all?
Not at all. I want it to be good, but it does. Like it looks okay, but it doesn't look like there's anything drawing me to it.
I want a game where I can fly around like Iron Man and then do cool other stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not going to get it right.
I found it.
Okay.
The Onion, which is the satirist newspaper that does joke things. Anthem developers assure players that the whiteboard with words "Jetpack plus guns?" will be playable game by Friday.
That's real. Metro came out, which I actually might go pick up. I have had some people already tell me that's pretty fun, and I've never played a Metro game, although that might be an Xbox only game, honestly. Yeah. So that blows. What else is coming out?
Here's a quote: there were some complaints when the early access demo was just the words Hubtown bracket name.
Skype is ruining us.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Is BioWare shutting down?
Is BioWare shutting down? Honestly, I hope so. And it pains me to say that because I am a huge fan of the original Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
But it needs to shut down.
Like, at this point, what's going on?
And I heard somebody bring up the point of, like, oh, if you're complaining about this game, but you're still, like, praising EA. But, like, EA, for once, has made a decent game. Has released a decent game, and they just showed that if you put actual, good design into a game and put some care into it, you're going to release one game that is currently dominating every streaming platform right now, or you're going to get a game that people have been bitching about for the past 2 weeks as soon as the beta came out, that people are making 30-minute videos about why it's a problem. And why it's already getting all this negative press.
Like, that's the thing about it. It's not like it's going to be a bad game. It's just going to be, like, so by the books average and not do anything of note.
Exactly like Andromeda, which, if they would have actually done something interesting, well, they tried to do something interesting with the Mass Effect formula.
Yeah.
But they completely ruin it because they don't understand what people actually want to play.
Let's talk about Andromeda next week, because that's a whole different conversation we could get to.
Right.
What are we even going to do in the off-season? Because there's not much that actually happens in the Overwatch League during the off-season break.
That's a good point. Probably just cover other games.
Yeah, I'll probably just evolve into talking about whatever.
Right. I'm fine with that.
Because our original plan was to maybe make a separate podcast solely for talking about random video games.
Oh gosh, but I don't think I can make another hour of just talking about random BS.
Yeah. I mean, apparently Skype didn't even want us to make whatever the long amount of random BS we've been doing.
Right. But any other topics that you can want to bring up for today?
Let's pull up the Google Doc.
Let's pull up the Google Doc. There's nothing that I can think I want to bring up now.
This is a very professional first episode.
It's a very professional first episode. It's got to be.
We always get the hang of it.
But I'm very excited for what we're going to be seeing this year on Season 2 of Overwatch League. I think that I want to hope that this isn't going to be the last season of Overwatch League. But hey, maybe some other really good competitive game will also come out this year too.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's the beginning of the year. We got plenty of time.
Oh, there hasn't been any game that I've wanted to get immediately into this year. Mostly next, in the middle/end of the year. But
I think the main two that I'm looking forward to right now, big titles, are Sekiro, and then if it's even a game still, Death Stranding. But we'll see if that even gets released to the public. It might just get released to Hideo Kojima himself, and that's it.
I swear, this game is great. You guys can't play it, but
you guys just have to believe me.
Yeah. Watch, he'll put up a Twitch stream of Death Stranding, and it'll be just him playing it, but the camera's looking directly at him as opposed to the computer.
But you know what? It will get 300,000 viewers.
I mean, Twitch Plays Pokemon was a thing.
Right.
I loved that.
It wasn't just how long ago was that now? I just heard the other day it was 5 years or 4 years ago.
Yeah, I played that game my junior year in economics. God. So that was, at that point, 2014. So just about 5 years now.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. What are you playing right now? What's your wind down game now?
I'm at that stage where I'm just trying to find something to occupy myself while I wait for a new game to come out.
Right.
And that's going to take a bit because there's not really much I want to play immediately. Right now I'm playing through Fire Emblem Fates Revelation. Nice. I actually just started that today because I wanted to play some Fire Emblem after the big dump in the Nintendo Direct about Fire Emblem Three House or Fire Emblem High School Simulator.
High School Simulator, yeah, absolutely. Right now, I play a few rounds of Overwatch. I play some Divinity, and I wait for Sekiro. I think that's all I can hope for right now to get me out of this game funk, because it's really slim pickings right now, unless you're an Apex fan.
We're in the golden age of what they call battle royales right now.
Of course.
I mean, 2 big releases over the course of 1 week in Apex Legends and Tetris 99.
The Titans as they clash.
I haven't played it yet, and I kind of want to, but I just love how Tetris 99 is unironically a great game.
Yeah, I think that, of course it would be. It's Tetris. Mm-hmm. When would Tetris ever not be timeless?
Yeah,
and people will deny it. People deny playing it, but it's Tetris.
Well, they had to release a game last year, I think even for VR, called the Tetris Effect. That was many people's game of the year because it was just Tetris, but it was all trippy and surreal, and it was very environmental.
It's incredible.
Look up videos on it.
I will. All right, that's I'm out of things to talk about at this point. Do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, how about just one thing? Why are we actually making this podcast? Why do we like Overwatch?
It's because I still want to love the game. Mm-hmm. And I do love the game. It's been my primary game since it came out, and I'm going to keep talking about it until the servers go down.
Until Activision Blizzard inevitably fires another 800 people.
Actually, you know what? If they do another complete just bullshit round like that, it might shake my faith a little bit more and finally get me to delete this weird ass game.
What I love about Overwatch, there's never been a first person shooter, any sort of big online game that has captured me as Overwatch has.
Right.
There's something for everybody.
It's one of those games that even if you're shit at playing, traditional shooters, you could still load into and just be half the times when I'm just sitting up can't sleep at night, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go play a round of Mercy, see how
Yeah.
that goes.
There's like so many different play styles at any sort of background you can come in and play.
Yeah.
Like,
I still have good moments in it. Every day I play it, I still have just ridiculous moments. Like, even today, I was camping out Asambra's translocator right next to her, and I knew she was coming back in a second. I was going to get the jump on her. And then their Hanzo just, like, looks at me, destroys my translocator, and without even seeing me, just pegs a sonar arrow into the corner of this room that I was standing in, which just so happened to be where my head was. He just wanted to check to see if I was in the room, but he got me.
Yeah. Like, I was playing Winston the other day. I hate playing Winston, but I decided to play him because that's what we needed, and I had a great time about that.
You should play more Winston.
I should. I'm more of an off tank, but
you should play more Winston, and you should do more. I want to say flanking Winston, but those are dirty words. What you should do is get with a Lucio and obviously push for for backline, but just be stupidly reckless a few times to kind of throw it off. I will play a few games where I just feed like the first like 2 fights. Just
that's my big issue with playing main tank is that I can feed very well.
Yeah. But then you get into the rhythm with Winston and figure out what they do, and then you shred them.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is. That's the character that I turn around most in games where I'm like, I'm playing so terribly, and then I get one Primal Rage, and then I win.
Like, you need to make friends with a good diva player if you're Winston, and you just have a great time. Because I was diving on supports. It was so much fun.
Oh, yeah. Killing a Zenyatta as a Winston is one of those super satisfying moments in Overwatch.
I really miss good Roadhog when I could just hook Tracer and one shot. Well, really one shot anybody, but Tracer in particular is really satisfying like that.
Yeah.
I love playing Moira and making Genji my bitch. It's great.
I was playing some Moira today too. Actually, I had a really good play of the game as Moira. I was doing some light DPS Moira, you know, where I was just being way too aggressive. I was still being pretty supportive. I had gold healing, so I wasn't strictly silver damage, mind you. I still had silver damage, so I was still doing a lot of damage. But I wasn't strictly a Moira DPS main today.
Every other game I play Moira, I get all 5 golds.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything because golds don't mean anything. But
no, they don't. But it's just because she just always is involved with every kill if you're playing her correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
Why do we want to make this podcast?
Why do we want to make this podcast?
Yeah, why do we want to do this?
Because I want to complain about Dallas Fuel. No, I do want to. I like taking the more like criticizing look at the teams, the critical look. I want to take the critical look at the teams, and I'll do that more as the season progresses, as we see more. But I want to do more into the player side of things, you know, for sure.
My immediate thought as well was I just want to complain about Overwatch.
I want to complain about Overwatch. I love complaining about Overwatch.
It's great. It's one of my favorite pastimes.
It really is. And we're going to continue to do that for the whole goddamn season.
And then some. Then we'll complain about all the changes that happened in Overwatch.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. We're going to be working on this weekly. Hopefully. We want to do a recap for each week of Overwatch League. We'll see what we can do, but that's the plan.
Right now, we're on a 1-week streak so far.
I think that's pretty damn good so far.
That's honestly more than I thought we were going to do.
Right.
I'm very happy for sitting down about this.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day. And thank you for listening.
Until next time, buy more loot boxes.
Buy more loot boxes. Absolutely. All right. Take care.